everybody, Rabiah Sutton here. I am going to talk to you guys today about finding your purpose slash passion. There's been a lot of talk from some recent videos that I recorded about, what you do after school, after high school, after undergrad, and kind of just, there's a lot of talk in the ether about finding your passion and finding your purpose, and I'm going to give you guys some practical steps to do that. So here we go.
A lot of people always encourage you to find your passion. Don't look for money, look for your passion. But can you explain to us? Let's take steps before that. What things did you do specifically to find your passion? What steps do you recommend that work for you?
I think I'm really just now figuring out what my purpose is. I think a lot of times when we are kids, we have things that we like. We have things that we enjoy. We have things that we're passionate about. And oftentimes the adults in our lives don't encourage us or encourage us to a point, or could flat out just be like, nope, that's not something that you should be focusing on because you need to, go this route that we've planned out for you, which is school, and then get a job and work and then die. So I think it's hard for people when they hear this, after they're 18, like, oh, find your passion. And it's like, what do you mean? Nobody's put the focus on what I enjoy or what my passion is for years. And so it can be a real exercise to figure out what that is. And I know, for me, it was trying to figure out what do I like. And so that's kind of where I went. Like, getting a bunch of magazines together and just start cutting out stuff and making a vision board or just a creative board, idea board, focused on things that look entertaining to you or that you think you would like to experience. Going on Google and looking up companies that you like to wear their brands or frequent their establishments and seeing, what kind of jobs they have open and whether something sticks in your mind like, oh, that would be cool to do that kind of job. I've never heard of that before. All of these things can kind of help you figure out what your passion is, and then you start kind of, weeding them out. You try something, you see if you really like it or not. If you don't, then maybe it's something kind of recreational that you like, but then maybe it's, something that will stick and you're like, oh my God, I love this. I have to have this in my life, like every day, every week, whatever it is. And so, over time, you'll figure out the things that feel good to you, that feel light to you, that make you fill up your energy and make you want to continue to be around those things. And obviously there's also the issue of like the thing that you've identified versus, the circumstances you've identified them with. So if you've identified you like doing this specific thing, let's call it a job, but the culture environment that the job is housed in sucks, then obviously you're going to think that those are, one thing. And so you've got to, take some time to figure out, is it the actual job, the function you're doing? Is it the people and the culture around it? And so you can kind of take that thing once you figure it out. And I also think the other thing is like, it's not a one thing. You don't, people have many passions, people have many interests that they like. And so, but trying to get to one and then others will come after that.
So what advice would you give to people who would say that I'm passionate about 10 different things and I just feel like I can't find my true passion? What suggestions do you give how to narrow it down?
Yes. So this has been one of those things that I've struggled at, definitely. Like, if you have all of these ideas and you think they're all great, how to run them down and how to focus, because obviously you're one person, you only have a certain number of hours in a day to be productive. And so you're not going to be able to do all of them at one time. And you do need to focus. So you've got to pick the thing that you either think is going to be, if it's a financial situation that is most important to you, then you got to pick the quick win that's going to give you financial stability. If you're not worried about finances and you just really are trying to figure out what feels good to you, then, take some time to really narrow those 10 things down to 3 things, and then say, all right, well, if I could only work on one thing this year, if I worked on number 1, how would I feel? If I worked on just number 2, how would I feel? If I worked on just number 3, how would I feel? And you're going to get some discernment around which one feels better, which one feels worse. And then you put them in what I call a parking lot. You make a list. I'm one of these people that has, like 100 ideas a day. And I used to try to go after multiple things at a time, and I had to just focus on one thing, and everything else goes into a parking lot for a later time when I'm able to actually work on them. And so it still allows me the creative outlet to continue to brainstorm and have the ideas and think through them, but I'm not acting on them, and I'm not putting a whole bunch of energy into them, because then that would dilute the one thing that I'm trying to do, which right now for me is, growing my business forward think.
So, what would you say to the person listening that is thinking, how do I know if it's my passion? What's the difference between my passion and this is something I think I like?
I think they're the same.
Okay.
I think if you like it, really love it, then that is your passion. The question is, if this is going to be the income generation for you, how you're going to pay your bills and survive, then you've got to figure out how to monetize it. And that's a different question. I think, the whole what's my passion? What's my purpose? What's my why? People overcomplicate. It doesn't have to be this, philosophical answer. It could be oh my God, I love skateboarding. Oh my God, I love to make fake plants. I don't know. It's fine. I can't tell you what you like, but that is a passion. And like I said, you can have multiple of them. The question is, how are you going to monetize that so that you can take care of yourself and live, the life that you want to? And those things will come if you follow your passion. And sometimes you might have to supplement that with doing some other things that you don't necessarily like because you haven't figured out how to monetize them and generate income. But you're still spending a good amount of time focused on that passion.
What would you tell to your parents or your spouse, and you want to tell them I want to follow my passion, but you have financial obligations that you need to work on?
So I think it's what I just said, which is you have a certain number of hours to be productive in a day. So even if you're working 8 or 9 hours in your day job, you have plenty of other hours outside of that at night on the weekends that you could follow your passion, work on developing what it really is you like about it and figuring out how you can make money off of it. If that's what your ultimate goal is to turn that into something revenue generating that you can then live off of. And I think that, your parents aren't going to have an issue if you explain to them kind of what you're trying to do and, call it an experiment, call it trial and error. They have nothing to do. I think they're going to respect that. And hopefully you have your spouse, partner, whatever it is supportive and wants you to be able to follow your passion. And if they don't, then that's a different conversation that you're going to need to probably have.